We done freed the 3 King Magi. We got Nahida up in the inside Apep. And we got Jet and Mudapar to quell the fucking Jinn. We also learned that Kale has Nabu Malika, whatever the fuck, Darth Malik's angel inside her, and she's essentially a god. And now we're gonna go activate the ancient tomb of Aaru after we destroyed King Deshret's sanctuary so that we can reactivate the Akasha, which definitely won't infect all of us and doom humanity. Much like Deshret. Hello, goat
You must be the ones tasked by the Academia with renovating Aaru?
Yes.
That's right. Good afternoon. I'm Kaveh, and these two are Termezi and Naisaburi. Hey, Alhaitham, come and introduce yourself.
Why don't you just introduce him
We've
also?
met before. This is Thoth, the Ibis King, and everyone knows these two. Afternoon, gentlemen.
I've only ever seen these two in murals.
Ah, the paintings in the temple. They show us chatting, playing cards, playing chess. Precisely the activities we most enjoy, funnily enough.
Really? No, pretty simple.
No, only you enjoy playing chess. We were just humoring you.
Not a fan of chess, huh?
I wouldn't go that far.
Back to the matter at hand. A preliminary assessment by the Academia indicates that this project requires expertise in various disciplines, including the deciphering of ancient texts, mechanical engineering, the restoration of ancient ruins, and elemental theory.
They should be able to help with all of that.
The most capable minds in their respective fields are here before you. If there are no objections, we'd like to begin our work.
Are these the most capable minds? You think there would be a Grand Sage here? I guess the Grand Sage doesn't need to be the most capable.
The artisans who built Aaru for Al-Ahmar gave their very lives to create this splendid work. Follow their example by giving your utmost devotion to this project.
We'll try.
I didn't know that. We'll do our best, of course, but we certainly won't be sacrificing our lives.
Yeah.
Such brazen words. Humans these days are a far cry from their ancestors. What little respect you show for King Deshret.
He was a powerful man. He still got all his people
that's
killed.
not what he meant. Please don't mind him. He shares your sentiments, just not your, penchant for hyperbole. Assuming that's what you were going for?
No, they literally died.
I just think it's important to manage expectations.
Forgive my lack of courtesy, but we simply can't sacrifice our lives to the gods on completion of the project like people in the legends of old.
Just not how it works.
Here's a first draft of the project proposal for your perusal. Please let us know if you have any requests. Normally, I'd have made it look a lot more visually appealing, but we were really pressed for time on this occasion. I hope you'll forgive me if it's a little rough around the edges.
Is he gonna show him the suitcase?
Naturally.
If my fellow ministers deem this meager display of respect sufficient, I suppose I can consider agreeing to their proposal.
Why are you so preoccupied with the ostentatious displays of respect to Al-Ahmar?
Honestly, bro.
We should be trying to make things easy for them. You never know. We might have to rely on these young people to look after us in our old age.
I like Ta.
Exactly.
This
Quit
is
being
Aru's
pretentious.
mainframe. Be reminded to use it with great caution.
Oh, he gave us the main
We certainly will. Thank you for your assistance.
You may attempt to lay out punishment should you so desire, though I'm afraid it would be futile. You and I both know that certain components of Aaru can only be operated
by humans.
King Deshret always believed in humanity.
You should do the same, though.
Still, the reason that Aru's modules are designed that way is not so much because he trusted them, but more because he was wary of you.
Forerunner civilization, leaving it to their ancestors to run this bitch.
No wonder human artisans helped to build Aaru then. He actually required human assistance to create his greatest work.
Well, it's not he didn't acquire, it's that he wanted it. To
Have
keep
you noticed
the gods
the
from
Goat
fucking
King
around.
keeps giving superficial responses? It's like he's just going through the motions and leaving the real debate to his colleagues.
He understands the art of perfunctory speech. That's what earned him his position as the Minister of Ministers. It seems the rumors about King Deshret being a poor judge of character are baseless after all.
Excuse me for being blunt,
All these people
but
are
it sounds
eccentric. They're
suspiciously
all
like
good.
you're putting yourself on a pedestal and mocking me.
You're mistaken. And while there's nothing strictly wrong with making every conversation about yourself, it's not exactly a positive tendency either.
It's been leaning in a bombastic side art.
Whatever. I knew it'd be like this working with you. All right, let me past. I need to look at this console.
It's your job to activate it after all. Let's begin.
It is.
Everyone, please proceed with the external checks and preparations as per the procedures outlined in the engineering plan.
Engineering and research. What are we gonna be doing while these assholes all work on fucking saving humanity? Or is it just gonna be a Kaveh Alhaitham moment?
Hello there, youngsters.
Whoa, the Ibis King
You're
came
thinking
to
Obi-Wan.
life.
What do you mean, came to life? I've been alive the whole time.
You did say we could start our research, right? Are you having second thoughts now?
No, I just want to see what you're
I've
doing.
reviewed the proposal. The work you're planning to carry out on this grand device is ambitious in its scope. You have ample confidence in your abilities, I take it?
I wouldn't say I'm feeling hugely confident, but given how bad things are, I'd rather at least try something than sit around waiting to die.
You are the top scholars of your day. I trust you are aware that there are countless links between Aaru and the Akasha.
Yeah, like the fucking
Aaru and the Akasha. But
like the fucking brain linking of the technology that caused abyssal energy to forbidden knowledge to run through and get the civilization nuked.
I thought the Akasha was the Academia's greatest technological accomplishment, created years ago by the Dendro Archon to help her people access knowledge.
True.
And you too? Do you not know either?
You've read the instruction manual, right? You tell them.
An instruction manual? The Akasha has an instruction manual? The Dendro Archon is a kind and thoughtful god indeed.
It should have an instruction
It
manual.
used to sit on a shelf in the corner at the House of Dana. Not the most popular read. If the manual is to be believed, Aaru was in fact the original inspiration for the Akasha system.
How would they not know this? What?
But there are so few records about Aaru anywhere.
I guess
And practically none of the scientific expeditions into the desert had anything to do with it.
that's because the fucking technology would be forbidden. It really shouldn't be researched because of what it caused. Also, the civilization that built it and its primary purpose got it destroyed. There's very lost desert records. Also, probably the reason that Nahida, or the Dendro Archon, knows so much about it is that she was there when it was built.
Ah, but this is something you could not possibly have known. You may have heard many stories about the desert, but what is the most important aspect of history? Consider this a quiz. Anyone from Vahumana present?
Like I say, Academia
I'm
was still
from
around.
Vahumana. It's, well, veracity.
Precisely. And a large part of veracity is the chronological order in which events occur.
Interesting. We're gonna get actual accurate depiction of desert lore. I know people love Deshret's lore.
I may as well tell you.
They're gonna put
In the
things.
beginning, Nabu Malikata, the goddess of flowers, descended upon Sumeru. The glory of the heaven was within her. She brought life, oases, and knowledge to this land. Then she created the Jinn, enlightened them, and ordered them to serve her. Two other gods also walked upon this land where wisdom flowed in abundance, and the three met beneath the great green trees. It was the first and greatest alliance. We should speak with reverence of this covenant between the three, which transcended both time and life. For they promised that in Sumeru, wisdom would be shared with all.
You know what? We've been there. That's the
All
paradise,
the great
right?
changes in Sumeru's history began with the goddess of flowers. For King Deshret's sake, she pried into the secrets of Celestia, and for this was burned to ashes by the flames of wrath. So grieved was King Deshret by her passing that he lost all interest in state affairs and devoted himself instead to the knowledge that she had brought back. It was after learning of the technology from that floating island in the sky that he first conceived of Aaru. And so, the Akasha was inspired by Aaru, while the basis for Aaru itself came from Celestia's technology.
Interesting. Okay. That actually does change a ton about the desert lore. Most people regard the Nolaka as like fucking Deshret being a simp and fucking pining after her as she didn't give a shit. No, she dedicated, she sacrificed her life to get him technology. But for to what end? So that he could keep civilization and wisdom going. And now we know that Deshret's technology, it's super advanced, high-tech shit, comes directly from Celestia. Interesting. So, this is at least priming up Celestia to be a super technologically advanced civilization. We obviously know Irminsul, even though it's retooled, and is originally from the world from before Celestia, is almost like a digital interface or a data archive, and sorter, an indexer, on a large scale. So, Celestia isn't just ancient, super duper magic. We're getting more into, like, what we get into Genshin stuff is almost like retrofuturism, where the previous civilizations are super highly technologically advanced, and some cataclysmic event dropped the technological levels of the world down. Which I genuinely don't feel like that's what the game was originally set up as. Sure, Conria had advanced tech and there was advanced civilizations, but I don't feel like it was the ancient civilizations were super advanced and humanity was catching up. I felt like it was, they had always used magic and humanity was going to eventually surpass or equalize their magic abilities with the ability to, with using technology to match, like, godlike magic. Because obviously, what's the fucking quote or saying or idea is that sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Or I wonder if that's the whole point. That quote is like the basis of Genshin, and that it's always been technology based, and everything, it just looks like magic when you're technologically advanced enough.
Well, if the two share a common technological origin, then connecting one system to the other is an entirely feasible idea.
Or connects to Celestia?
Unbelievable. Have you no reverence at all for celestial technology?
No one does.
No, I do, but there's no time for that. The schedule is too tight. Blame it on the deadline.
Perhaps you could try coming up with our cutoff dates.
You know what it's like having to turn around 5 different drafts in one day? I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
Got one of that.
Yeah,
post.
also, Sir Ibis King, you don't plan on getting directly involved at all, do you?
Yes, well, you strike us more as having come to give a popular science lecture. Or, wait, does this count as more of a first-hand witness statement?
This might be a first-hand account.
Neither.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, this sounds like far too much work for me.
Great.
Still, if Aaru is so powerful, why didn't King Deshret use it for more ambitious ends?
Did you see what happened to Civilization?
Because it was never fully completed. King Deshret had grand plans, but he perished before they could come to fruition.
Yeah, Celestia was fucking pissed.
In the beginning, his wish was to create something that could rival the very world itself. The Lord of Flowers sacrificed everything for that ambition. What he desired, she bestowed, and thus was knowledge brought into the world. Her courage and sacrifice had to be honored with the most splendid of monuments, or King Deshret would surely have deemed it a grave injustice.
You know, the more I hear about these people, the more I realize why the fucking angels were killed and died, bro. Holy shit. Almost every single one of them went against Celestia in some way.
And that monument, built from knowledge and technology, etched with a sacrificial and courageous love, even in its unfinished form, it deserves to be treasured. At that time, King Deshret said the following to the Lord of Dendro. Since we share an eternal covenant, I shall never be your enemy. Hence, the fruit of wisdom from the heavens is not to be devoured. Remember,
Why he gave it to the
is
Dendro
not
son?
that I lack the power to become the enemy of wisdom. Yet you and she have taught me much and shown me kindness. For this, I cherish you both. In the end, Aaru was only used to store a portion of the souls. It was but a primitive form of the masterwork the king had envisaged. His final hope for Aaru was to return to the past, when she yet lived.
So it was meant to be a reconstruction of the world? Oh my god, are they implying that he was trying to make his own Luma Fate in a way? Or his own simulation of reality?
So the point you're making is, King Deshret was both powerful and ambitious, and he only ceased his imperious ways out of affection for the goddess of flowers and the Dendro Archon. You could see this as an act of mercy, but you could also see it as the sentiments that lay between these three gods placing constraints on him. This was, after all, the foundation of the alliance between them.
This explains why Aaru was both a prison and a monument, and why the answer to the three questions was time.
You have to be careful who you get involved with, or you invite all manner of misfortune. This is as true for gods as it is for humans.
Interesting. So Deshret, when power scaling, that shows Deshret was capable of surpassing the angel and the fucking god of dreams or the Dendro Archon at this point. I guess that's why they wanted him as a Dendro Archon. But he said no, he rejected it. He didn't need it. He was... Does that mean he would have power to rival Celestia and the Shades? If so, he probably would have been... Shit, if he was around, he'd still be the first Dendro Archon. I doubt he would have fucking collapsed or been destroyed.
Love is the same. It is both a prison and a monument. Alright, let us pause the story here for now. Seeing as you've been so diligent, I'll offer a little help. Who's in charge again? Is it you two?
Ah, yes, me and him.
Now then, close your eyes.
I give him a vision.
Wisdom hides in the space between the tangible and the intangible. It is to convey the incommunicable through the simplest of mediums. By the power of King Deshret, I shall grant you a glimpse into the unseen secrets that lie at the threshold of existence.
Where did this come from? Is it a new mechanism?
It looks more like some form of externalized information. You've rendered it visible?
Just as the Akasha allows you to access a greater range of knowledge, the power of our king permits one to perceive ingenuities that do not belong to this world. This is no ordinary mechanism. It reflects the internal structure of Aaru.
I fucking allowed us to see like the inside the circuitry and the CPU, the fucking foundational pieces.
Whether you choose to increase or decrease, keep or discard. Come, use these to achieve the outcome you desire.
Looks mechanical to me. Better let me handle it, just in case. But wait, how do I get up there?
You don't need to
Turn around.
So that's where the elevator is.
Oh. Quest is breaking, world is breaking. Okay. Let me do this. What is this? Bar. I can't remember how half these puzzles work. Rotate. Okay, that's what it is, right? Cell shoot light. Okay, so we got insane endgame lore. Oh, okay. An obelisk, huh?
Obelisks were used to record important information in the ancient desert civilization.
Notes.
Hey, Alhaitham, there's some writing here I'll need you to decipher. I've sent it to your screen. Do you see it?
Sent it to you
Got
screen.
it. It's a little blurry, but I should manage.
Take a look and tell me what it says. Oh, and I'll send any other similar text directly to you from now on.
Let's start with this one. It's a variant of an older script.
Son of a bitch, can't these motherfuckers read this?
Here in live verses,
We have
written
3
for the
Magi who
Yellow
can read this for
Sands.
us.
Looks like cultural information from the age of King Deshret.
If so, I suggest you delete it.
Words thrown together merely for fun. I had no idea Aaru kept a record of this.
Well, as long as you're certain that this is strictly private information, that's fine.
Yeah.
It is unimportant.
All right, well, I guess I'll start now.
Unimportant information. This is bullshitting. Oh, I realized I was going diagonal. Oh, it's going that way? These things must be turning anyway, bro. Okay. Oh, it's gonna be real simple. Yeah, so we got fucking insane next level lord. So all the technology is based off Celestia. The hell? This entire thing. So Deshret ain't exactly the greatest inventor ever, bro. If he's
Found
basically,
some more.
he based
Sending them over
Aaru
to
off of
you
Celestia tech.
now.
His regular tech
These
seems
are
to
all
be.
reports about the Gurubad conflict.
Can we delete them?
I'd say so. Most of this information has already been archived anyway.
Most.
What if there are details in there that Vahumana missed? What are we supposed to do if they come after us in the future?
They'll just have to live with it. If we don't resolve these issues now, there won't even be an academia in the future, let alone a Vahumana Darshan.
For real.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, done.
Now we're just obliterating
There's
entire
some
history.
other similar monuments nearby. I'll check them out.
Interesting how we have to wipe out storage space. Yeah, for his advanced civilization. Looks like he wasn't too good keen on getting enough storage space, bro. Or Deshret. Couldn't afford to get an SSD or an HDD that had a terabyte. We have to delete shit for storage space. Let's see what this obelisk has.
Another monument.
Hold on.
You're still reading it? How long is it?
A lot
It
of bullshit.
records the development and governance of the Oasis civilization. Most of it concerns the Jinn, but it also contains records left by the artisans who built Aaru.
This is like, wait, we did
Is
this.
it important?
Some of it. There was no way for me to read the whole thing in its entirety, so I had to rely on my intuition to pick the parts worth keeping.
What about the artisans' records? What do they mention?
Architecture.
They're speculations, mostly. For instance, they were wondering how to protect themselves if King Deshret decided to silence them after the construction of Aaru was complete.
Sounds like pure mythology to me. Surely that kind of thing didn't really happen.
The records do emphasize that this was merely their conjecture based on various myths. Still, the artisans did leave details of their plans to survive, including blueprints for their escape route.
Even that got recorded? Okay, well, I'll make a copy of this
like
first before I
Irminsul.
delete it.
Is that truly necessary? You won't be needing those.
No, the blueprints are important. I want to keep them as a memento.
Also, who cares? Who are you telling me that this information isn't important, bro?
I think that should just about do it.
It meets the requirements of the contingency plans, so we should be good.
Now storage space is sold
I
the souls
gotta
of everybody.
say, it's the strangest feeling, this cross between reality and the intangible. It's like drifting between life and death, or in and out of a dream.
All the dreams.
Using my own hands to manipulate illusions that are forever out of reach.
Others can't even see.
Chasing dreams in the most literal sense. Definitely a novel experience.
What happens if my spirit just floats away?
That won't happen.
Yeah, you're still here physically.
Anyway, I wouldn't celebrate just yet if I were you. There's likely to be a phase 2 of this project.
More complicated puzzles.
All right. I'd better keep my wits about me then.
Okay. A rest for a while. Y'all got anything to say?
I expected that the outside world no longer respected the ancient gods, but even so, I do find the tone of these youngsters to be dreadfully impolite.
It should hardly come as a surprise to you. I remember you saying the same thing last time.
I assumed that was just a one-off. I did not realize it was the norm.
Don't you think that young lad's matter-of-fact tone sounds familiar? It bears a rather uncanny resemblance to you, Goatee.
Surely a sign that he is a man of rare intelligence.
The rest of them, though, much better. The blonde-haired one, for instance. So sincere. That's the kind of kid I can respect.
Oh, really? Well, what about your disciple, Nefer? She's about the furthest from sincerity that a person can get.
That's true.
And now you hit the crux of the issue. Thoth is spouting lies again. He cares nothing for sincerity. He likes Nefer simply because her personality is just like his. Thus, in giving his approval to Nefer, Thoth is simply validating himself. The rest is but smoke and mirrors.
You have some nerve saying that. There really is no helping you two.
Shut up, chess rookie.
Crazy.
What nonsense is this? How dare you tell me to shut up?
How can you engage in such banal chitter-chatter at a time like this? Aaru has been opened. The glory and splendor of a bygone age is about to sweep over the earth like a flood. And you're here squabbling like petulant children. All three of you are insufferable. King Deshret was merciful, indeed, giving you a chance to be released from prison. I say, you should have been locked up for good.
Ah, but Bennu, look on the bright side. Had they not been released, we would not have been awoken.
Oh. You've been here this whole time. You should be scolding them along with me.
Nah.
I miss Hermanubis. It's not a real reunion without him here.
Well, Apep. No one's gonna fuck about
You're
Apep.
avoiding the topic and talking to yourself. Why King Deshret designed your personality like this, I will never understand.
Isn't this simply proof that our king supports my free will?
Oh, look at those two rust buckets. Suddenly, you two do not seem so bad after all.
Here, here. If being stuck together for thousands of years fosters no friendship, I cannot say what would.
Naturally.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Why don't the youngsters respect us? As they proceed to show they don't even respect each other. What are you doing out here? Mr. Tyner?
How's it going? Are things progressing smoothly?
Not particularly.
Well enough, I suppose. You know how it is. The work itself is only half the problem. The other half is having to work with Alhaitham.
Is it though?
I'm sure the feeling is mutual. Honestly though, I thought you two had already worked things out.
Yeah.
As if. Turns out working closely together is the best way to expose any tensions lurking beneath the surface. Besides, I just think that some people never change.
What's yourself?
Agreed. Case in point, you didn't make sure I was out of earshot before you started complaining about me.
Old habits die hard.
I wasn't going anywhere anyways.
Actually, this is for your own good. Maybe if you spend a little more time listening to what other people have to say, you might actually realize that you're the problem.
Naivete is another old habit of yours.
I had assumed that you both volunteered for this project, like us forest rangers.
Nope.
But now I'm getting the sense that wasn't the case.
Definitely not. We were assigned to it by Lesser Lord Kusanali and Nephis.
As
Oh,
much
Lesser
as I'd
Lord
love to be
Kusanali
doing
assigned you.
normal work for normal clients, these Titan projects are all that's on offer right now. Though I'm sure they wouldn't be roping us in if they had any better options. Just goes to show how short-staffed the academia really is.
Also shows how the world's fucking ending. What the hell do you mean, man?
I'm sure you've prepared yourself mentally, but I still feel the need to advise you to lower your expectations. It might make the process of working together a little less intolerable.
I know! Same to you! But if you already understood that, you should also know not to say the quiet part out loud.
No, you have
Why
to.
don't you come help me with my forest patrols? Might help you avoid any further disagreements.
Patrols, brother, we're
Good
trying to do this shit.
suggestion, but unfortunately, differences of opinion will always exist. Changing the nature of the work won't get rid of them.
For once, I actually agree. There is zero chance of us ever resolving our differences. Zero! But even so, the work must be done. Care for some coffee?
I'm glad to see you making progress.
Don't act so
That's just-
smug.
we
It'd be
know
nice if you
difference.
made some too.
That's just the writer
I
telling
feel
you.
like even I've made some progress today. In the past, I never would have dared to try and mediate a conflict between you two while you're both right there in front of me.
Apologizing probably makes it sound like I'm in the wrong, but I'm sorry.
I was just kidding. Truth be told, I don't have any work to do at the moment, so I'm just here to kill some time.
You're at the fucking
How's
ancient
Krai?
temple. Yeah, I thought she found out she
She's
had
studying
guns
with
on it.
Nicole. I'm not sure how she's getting along, but she seems to be in good spirits at
A
least.
dialogue for shit that's not
I
part of the
wouldn't
quest.
worry. Angelic affairs are probably above your pay grade anyway.
I know what you mean, but Cyno and I are still a little concerned for her. He said he'd go keep Krai company after he's finished training the mercenaries. I'm planning to join them myself shortly.
Kale will
So
be
everybody
okay.
keep him busy.
Have faith in her.
I mean, it's not like they could do anything.
Even we can see how
Gotta
much
run
more
patrols and
confident and
mercenary shit.
outgoing she's become in these past few years. Thanks to you and Cyno being there for her and providing guidance every step of the way, she can finally stand on her own 2 feet.
On her own 2 feet.
Does it feel bittersweet? Watching the younger generation grow up and move on.
No, not yet, at least. I was just thinking, I wish there was more I could do for everyone.
She'll be fine.
Yeah,
It's
she
interesting.
will. Just try to relax.
Interesting that they make all these dialogues optional now. Like, you didn't have to. I didn't have to sit here for this 45-minute fucking dialogue piece between these two characters. I could have just said, "Nah, I'm good." But this is actually a way better way to do it. It's like you don't care. You don't want to like progress the story quest. Just progress the story quest, bro. All these extra dialogues. I'm pretty sure all those dialogues, like those guys talking and these guys, and Tainari and them talking, probably would have been like inside the main quest. Like, yeah, we're already at 30 minutes, bro, and we haven't accomplished anything in this video. Holy shit. We did like 4 puzzles with Kaveh and got some nuclear, not nuclear lore, but some clarifications on Deshret lore. I guess the big part is to find out that his stuff came from celestial civilization. It isn't just purely his. We had speculated that, though, that he had taken the celestial nail and reworked it, but now we know it's because the angel
Traveler from afar,
intentionally sacrificed her
do
own
you
life.
worry for the fate of Sumeru as well?
You know we're not from the planet.
It's Sobek the Crocodile King!
Greetings, Crocodile King.
That's a whole lot.
Please be at ease. I'm just here to chat with you about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
What about her?
Sounds like you really care about her.
What happened to the greater lord, Mukadavada?
Yes, although to be exact, it is a mixture of both concern and curiosity that I feel.
Speaking of Nahida, Paimon was wondering how she's doing.
We'll find
Wait
out.
a moment.
Nahida. Whatever happened to Mukadavada? I wonder if that because they were sealed inside Aaru or the chamber there, were they isolated from Irminsul changes?
What is it?
I tried calling out to Apep, but there was no response.
Oh, okay.
This can only mean that she is focusing all her energy on taking care of Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Or fighting
All
something.
the gods who served King Deshret seemed super surprised to hear that Apep agreed to help Nahida. Guessing she made a bad impression on you or something.
Are you aware of the history between her and our king?
I mean, I am in a sense that I know that the king... I know how it ended. He fucking took all the abyssal forbidden knowledge and then let her eat him for the knowledge, and it poisoned her. So I'm gonna say no.
The story begins a long time ago. Al-Ahmar was always a wishful thinker where the Dendro dragon was concerned. Without consulting her, he decided to list her among the 7 pillars and declared his own power to be far superior to hers.
Oh, that's how he did it? Damn.
That was when our king was at the height of his power. Ibis Goti and I were no match for him. And so we chose to submit and serve as his ministers.
Power skilled
But
everybody.
not Apep. No, she never thought much of him. To Apep, Al-Ahmar's pride and sense of superiority were nothing but ignorance and hubris. In fact, they fought numerous times, but usually the battle ended in a draw.
Oh, okay. So King Deshret literally was the strength of a full-power Dendro sovereign. Okay.
In the end, King Deshret coveted the power of Celestia, only to end up corrupted by knowledge.
Interesting. People always talk about Deshret about this super intelligent guy. So he was not a despot, but at least he was coveting the throne of Celestia.
His final act was to trick the dragon into swallowing him whole, leaving her to bear the torment of his sins.
Yep.
The Dendro dragon stands for the glory of a bygone era. She hated Al-Ahmar and what he represented. All the gods, all the power they wielded.
All stolen from the
And
dragons.
so, her willingness to help the Dendro Archon through this crisis comes as a great surprise indeed. It makes one wonder whether, perhaps, the Dendro Archon assisted her in the past.
Well,
Yep, Nahida did her a huge favor.
we purified the abyssal corruption for... Yeah, we freed Apep from Deshret's fucking evil power. His trick.
So Lesser Lord Kusanali put an end to the Dendro Dragon's many long years of torment. As much as she loathes the 7, Apep knows kindness when she sees it. No wonder she was willing to make an exception.
Yeah, that's the sense we got from dealing with her, too.
Also, just a side tangent or side piece. I guess that's why Deshret rejected the idea of becoming an Archon. Because why become an Archon when I could take the entire throne of Celestia myself and be stronger? Why serve someone who I'm stronger than? As he thought he was.
She is not incapable of coexisting with other living things. Rather, she actively chooses to avoid coexistence. And this despite the fact that she symbolizes life itself. How ironic.
I feel like that's why this
All of
desert
this
never
being
heals.
said, I wouldn't expect too much from her if I were you. Nothing will change her hatred towards humanity and gods.
That's them telling you she's not going to be a playable character, she's not going to be human, and she's not going to show up in the lore unless we need her to.
We'll keep that in mind.
That's exactly what that means right
Anyway,
there.
how much longer do you think Nahida needs to stay with Apep?
Oh, we're going to pick her up, huh?
For all we know, the Fatui might still be in the desert. Just to be on the safe side, why don't we grab anyone who isn't busy right now and go look for her? I'm alright, Paimon.
What the fuck?
Was that Nahida's voice?
Yeah, she can do that, can't
It
she?
seems the treatment was effective.
She hasn't done that in a while.
Since when do my deeds require your evaluation?
Shout out to Traveler's Alpha switching. I hear footsteps, you hear that? Who's walking? Oh, there she is.
Here will do just fine.
I had no intention of taking you any further. One ought not expect greater generosity than they have earned.
You always hide your kindness away like an oasis within a sandstorm. Only those who make it through the swirling winds can know just how beautiful that oasis is, and how much hope it brings.
You dare appraise my being?
Yeah.
No, I'm expressing my gratitude. I want to thank you for sharing your precious life force with me.
She saved her. Waking up inside the ancient dragon's lair.
Awake already? You are more resilient than I thought.
She is a Dendro Archon. Purest branch.
Apep.
Purest branch of
I
Irminsul.
feel much better. Thank you.
Gods and their gratitude mean little to me. I would rather you give me your assurance that the situation with Irminsul and Sumeru's ley lines will be competently managed. If I suffer any ill effects from the ley lines, you, as the god of this land, will be held responsible. And you would not enjoy being held to account by me.
I understand what you require.
Always a bitch.
But I would assume this task even if you did not demand it. Sumeru is my responsibility. I must resume my duties as soon as possible.
Yeah, Orca, you are
A
tasked
farcical
Orca.
notion. God of Sumeru, I hope you realize how unextraordinary your strength is.
And yet, maybe it is precisely what defines me.
You're not that
God
strong,
of wisdom is
but you
not
will.
meant to rule by force.
Then hold steady. We go forth.
Yeah. I want you to acknowledge how weak you are.
Is that
That's
Apep?
fine, bro.
Do my eyes deceive me? Of all places, the Dendro Dragon has decided to visit the mausoleum of King Deshret?
Visit.
I see that after all this time, El Ahmar's menagerie of ministers remain as vile as ever.
It's a pleasure, Dendro Dragon. Had you arrived but a little sooner, you might have attended a meeting of the Seven Pillars.
What a nauseating thought.
She isn't a seven pillar. She isn't really a pillar.
You are not the first insects I have had the displeasure of dealing with today. A swarm of them tugged on my tail on my way over. Goodness knows what hovels they crawled from. Why do all the creatures of this world remain so lowly after all this time?
What did you do with them?
Obliterate.
I cast them away. What would you have me do? Keep them as trinkets? Booer, this is where we shall part ways. To be clear, I do not wish to see you or anyone else here ever again, unless absolutely necessary.
Then I wish you peace as you return to your dwelling place.
Thanks for helping Nahida, Miss Apep.
It matters not to me. Simply refrain from bothering me again.
Now that's a Dendro Sovereign. And off she goes.
A force to be reckoned with. At times like this, I feel glad that she has no interest in any of this.
Yeah, I don't think the world would be better off.
Hold on, just hold on, okay? We're almost there.
Is that what she's referring to? That we're tugging on her legs? The fucking parry and all the... Oh, the parry and all the fucking... I can't remember what they're called.
We made it.
Sorush is here?
Wait, that voice.
This is the second time we heard Sorush's voice. We heard it. Oh, what event was it? When Nilu was dancing and she was with the other one? God, what event was that?
Uh-oh, I'm gonna fall.
Her and all the R&R. Can the R&R fly? Okay, fucking... What is this armada? I've got you. No, we do not have Soresh or all the fucking R&R.
Well, that's a relief. A pair of safe hands indeed.
The Dendro Archons familiars. They are the last thing I expected to see here.
Exactly. What are the R&R doing out here? Did they come to assist the Dendro Archons? She said she casted them away. I guess she didn't care to see the R&R and the pirate. I guess because they represent the Dendro Archon and the Hydro Archons familiar, if you really want to talk about the pirate.
Huh? Wait, what are the R&R doing here? Don't you guys hate the desert?
Not when our god's sick.
Obviously, I was worried about the Dendro Archon. I've been supporting them with my Pari powers the whole way here. Oh, you seem pretty nervous. Is it because there are too many people around?
Well, Dendro Archon really
Not
fucking
just
died.
people. It's all these non-human beings, too. It's hard on them.
Well,
I can't believe you made such a long and dangerous journey just for my sake. I appreciate your support so much. Thank you all.
actual like in-game like second ever interaction with Nahida and the fucking Aranara. We never see her interact with them.
I'll have to ask everyone to wait while I help our new arrival settle in. Once I'm done, I'll gather everyone to discuss our next steps. Traveler, Paimon, shall we find a place for our friends to stay?
So there's gotta be an oasis somewhere.
Awesome! Let's go!
Okay, should I have kept them as trinkets?
I have some questions.
I'm guessing that's what Apep was referring to, is these guys. You answered his questions, bring up to speed on everything that's happened. This is much better. They're getting... You know what's interesting? The writing is like... This quest is like a testament to like their writing. Without... We're not doing long-winded explanations where we have to click a button. The game is just like, you bring her up to speed. And they're not black screening it either. Like this is just you bring her up and it'll be a black screen. They're not interjecting the character interactions unless you want to click on them.
Okay, I think that covers everything. Thank you. We can get going now.
That's a lot better than black screens. Hopefully they keep doing that for the rest of the goddamn game, where it's just, unless it's like animation. Because usually that would be like, okay, here's what happened. And then it's like, black screen, you got... What are all the R&R doing out here? Oh! They'll follow? Follow me, everybody. Army of R&R, huh? I guess they sensed she was in trouble. It took them this long to get out here, though. Or maybe they couldn't sense her. Are you back? Is that him with he has his stick? Yeah, he's got his stick. They're gonna blast them. Who are all the ones out here? Isn't the blue one? Everyone theorizes the blue one was like Dottore because he was different. He was the only blue R&R. Maybe we'll find out if this one's different because he's also a researcher. He was interested. He was different. He has a different style and name. They're still not voiced? Wow, a big Dendro dragging through us across the side, so scary. Yeah, okay. That was right. They all came to Apep to see Nahida. She said, fuck off. And so they sent her to Nahida was after. Cheer up, us. Look at us. Wait, they're all looking at us. Surely you know there's no one can see us. No, I'm always so busy. I'm walking and walk here and there. Hide, don't let the Nora catch us with the pot. Wait, no, Nora can't take the pot. My sister said I had to look after it. Ah, the Nora are coming.
Hello, everyone. It's only us.
Who cares? Walk through as the R&R. Oh, Lord of Dendro, Nora, Traveler, and White Floaty. Lord Dendro, and Paimon, it's been a long while.
It must be very tough for you coming all the way out here. Especially since you don't like the Veluca. Is everyone back in Vanarana doing well?
Not particularly. Oraja is a Rasa tree. Rasa tree perfects Varanara, and that means Aura is protecting Varanara. Don't worry, everyone who stayed behind will do their best to protect their home. We'll all do our part.
Everyone's here. Good. Are you okay? You look like you were about to pass out back there.
She had to cross the desert. I mean, she lives in Oasis.
And you're forgetting who I am. Don't underestimate me.
She is the Bloom Guardian. Sarush, the mighty Red Floaty.
Oh, excuse me. Are you comparing me to Paimon?
Honestly, are you? Well, Arahishan thinks it suits you.
I suppose everyone is gathered here because of me. As we can see, the situation is critical, and everyone is very busy with their various tasks, so...
You know, that's actually very interesting. The blue researcher Aranara said, calling you Red Floaty is actually very apt. It's like, it feels like it fits you to compare you to Paimon. We know that Soresh is a Bloom Guardian, who's an Apari born from the death of the first Hydro Archon, and then combined it with the life. And then I think the Dendro Archon turned her stuff into the tree and the Apari. I believe that's what Rika Nevada did, not the Nahida here. Like Lesser Lord. Like Rika Nevada herself did that. Which makes me think, if that like a slight nod, or is it just, you know, just whatever information to hint at what Paimon is? The remains of a dead god converted into the world? Like maybe Asmodee? That's a theory. Asmodee is actually... Paimon is the remains of dead Asmodee. Need help? Arpus can help. We can all help. Arpus brought a pot to make soup. Very delicious. Oh no, your R&R soup isn't always that delicious. All of us are here to help. Oriana helps out. Yes. We're all help.
I can't thank you enough.
All the Aaru are here to help.
Right now, we're focused on restructuring Aaru, processing excess information, and helping restore everyone's confidence. I'm sure you'll find it all very straightforward.
No, you won't.
I can help too. Just let me know where I'm needed.
What can the Bloom Guardian do? Together. Alright, but you got to be able to integrate with society. Lord of Dendro Archons has something important to tell you. On our way out of Nara, we saw some Nara attacking a secret male Nara up to no good.
Up to no good?
The forest always remembers. Yes, 2 Nara sneaking around at Caravan Rebot.
That definitely sounds suspicious. Traveler, Paimon, I have other work to attend to here that needs to take priority. Could I trouble you to investigate the situation Arabalika spoke of? No problem. Leave it to us.
So does that mean that the R&R, since they're still not voiced even here,
I'm counting on you.
or they speak telepathically? Also, off the Caravan Rebot.
One other thing. If you are to work alongside the people of Sumeru, you will need to make yourselves visible to them. Is that acceptable to everyone?
Well, if we really have to. I mean, there's also another thing. When I talked about the desert finally coming together, another aspect of the game. R&R are going to be revealed to be real to the people. Don't be afraid, Arpus. Make the most delicious soup. Everyone will like you. That soup is going to be awful. Unless we did teach them better recipes.
There's nothing to fear. No one here will hurt you. But if you do feel afraid, don't worry. Just call my name and I'll be there.
Okay.
Very well. Now, I shall bestow a small blessing upon you all. Whenever people see you and interact with you, from the moment their gaze meets yours, they will experience the most beautiful of dreams.
What does that mean? Here, raises her hand. You don't know what she did, but you feel a wonderful presence, like something out of a lovely dream indeed. Sunlight trickling through the branches, glistening like golden leaf. The trees chanting soft in the breeze. The flowing water floods sniffing. Your heart swells like a balloon of pleasant happiness. There are many terrible things yet to be resolved, but in this moment you all feel peace and friendship and love as you stand side by side with dozens of creatures in the forest. That's our ability to manipulate minds, by the way. The people around you turn their heads and scan the surroundings. They hear too. Ancient voices speak of the forest, soothing everyone's hearts. Do not fear. Do not be afraid. You will be overcome by the storm.
Do not fear. We will face it together. This too shall pass.
This too shall pass. Hang on now. Oh boy. It does. They're all worried about the people looking. There's a lot of people in here. Any other dialogue options? No? Oh, we get to head to the shoot? I thought we were going to head to the Caravan Rebot. How we do that? Jesus, bro. This was one long-ass part, and it's all just dialogue. Anywho, let's go to Aaru shoot. Maybe before we head to Caravan Rebot, we'll split the part off there. I don't know how long this is.
Ah, everyone's here. Wonderful.
The Dendro Archon.
Dendro Archon. You're back.
I got to Umberta Sage, but not Grand Sage.
Are you recovering all right? You mustn't push yourself too hard.
Bro, oh my god.
I'm doing very well. Thank you for your concern. I see. Using the power of Aaru to reboot the Akasha and gain access to Irminsul.
Sounds like a sound idea.
It's a sound plan, although I regret to be the bearer of bad news, but with the state that Irminsul is currently in, it's impossible to access via traditional means. Even the Akasha won't change that.
Oh.
Alas,
I mean, Aaru
feared this may be the case.
So we just unsealed Deshret's great heaven.
And what about non-traditional means?
Isn't this non-traditional? Can we brute force away?
Non-traditional means?
There's gotta be a way to brute force
Are
him.
you saying?
Burn
Desperate times call for new measures.
Oh, what does that mean? How exactly can we burn our way into Irminsul? This would be a fucking time to split the video. Watch our sneaky humans just be fucking Nefer and the others. Who could be sneaking around this hellhole? Also, there seems to be like mist around here now, like a fog. What's the map look like? Oh, okay, so it does have like whatever is spreading. So obviously Sumeru City is fucking infected. Caravan Rebot still isn't infected, huh? But all the Vanara is. And Van Aranara is still up running. But Bidia Harbor seems to be fine. Oh, bro, there's a dome around the entire country currently. And it looks like Port Ormos isn't affected either. So you could have fled, and the Apep Woods. So you could have fled to the south, and obviously the desert isn't affected. It's Cyno.
Hey, we're here!
Are you still out here? I thought you were with us.
Ah, it's you. Is there a situation?
Someone, the Aranara, told us there's someone suspicious. Also, where did Nefer come from?
The Aranara have good intuition when it comes to people. In other words, there may well be a traitor among us.
Among us?
Given everything that's going on, I'd be more surprised if there wasn't.
Miss Nefer, as a professional intelligence broker, I trust you have a solution?
I have a solution. This is your
Not one
place.
that I'm willing to volunteer. What's in it for me?
Let's say I'll treat this as a pilot project aimed at expanding your intelligence operations. Whatever business you're in, an avenue to demonstrate your abilities could never hurt.
I like the sound of that. Glad we're on the same page.
Nice. Test
Given
run.
that you rarely set foot in Sumeru, practically no one at Caravan Rebot knows who you are.
I take it you've read the files on everyone in the area?
Yes. I also skimmed the list of evacuees, and am more or less up to date on where everyone stands.
So who we want
Any
at the
initial
Hatui?
suspects?
Limiting the scopes to males whose recent activity could be viewed as suspicious. I've identified 3 names.
Females.
The Aranara saw 2 people talking, but currently we only have 1 suspect. The other person was probably just a messenger, and in all likelihood has already left Caravan Rebot.
Everyone is heading for the desert per the evacuation order.
Is that true?
Anyone willing to turn back at this stage is almost certainly with the Fatui.
There's no way it was a spur-of-the-moment decision to act at a time like this. This spy must have been planted long ago. We need to smoke him out from wherever he's hiding.
Sounds like you have the beginnings of a plan.
Cyno never could exchange intel and narrow down the relevant information.
I see.
What's our plan?
Your suspicions are well-founded. I'd be watching him too if I were you.
I guess he's a fucking
So
wanderer.
far,
He's the
we
only
still
person.
lack solid evidence that he's been bribed. He hasn't made any recent purchases that would indicate he came into some cash.
Then let's get closer to him to confirm before we make our move. I can handle it. I'm not based in Sumeru, so barely anyone at Caravan Rebot knows who I am.
And you're
Thank
certain
you for
you've
repeating
never
information.
encountered this person in Krai?
I'm certain. Besides, it's extremely rare for me to have had any direct contact with Sumeru mercenaries besides Jet. There's no way he could have seen my face before.
Alright, it's not wanderer.
Cyno, stay
Although
out
I
of
feel like he
sight
is one of the
and wait
suspicious
for my
people.
signal. If he raises any red flags, I'll bring him toward the main road.
Understood. I'll take it from there.
Excellent. Well, it's a pleasure working with you.
Let's see who the fuck we're hunting. Who we're killing. Okay.
Darker skin, scars, frequents the desert.
Damn,
and
darker
has
skin.
ample combat
Immediately
experience.
knew he was a threat.
Nothing unusual about how he dresses or acts. What's that he's looking at? A coin. Interesting. Could that be how his contact paid him? Conveniently discreet for someone trying to hide any unexplained income. and yet it could be highly valuable.
Or it could be
Sorry
a
to
code
bother
cipher
you.
item.
Has everyone here already left? I don't suppose you happen to see a lady wearing a hat?
Lady wearing a hat.
Ma'am, what are you doing in Caravan Rebot all by yourself? The main group evacuated some time ago. Didn't you pass them on the road?
My friend and I lost some of our cargo along the way. I didn't want to miss out on potential business, so I told her to go on ahead and meet the client while I retraced our steps. I didn't think it would be so late by the time I found it. And then there was a terrible sandstorm. I guess I must have taken a wrong turn, because I didn't see any large groups on my way here.
Forgive me for asking, but just to be on the safe side, could you describe this friend of yours?
Was he sound like the
Sure.
Hello Mario?
She has blonde hair, and she was wearing a hat and a white dress.
Blonde hair,
You'd
hat, and a
definitely
white
know
dress.
if you'd seen her.
Oh, it's
Yes,
Nicole.
I think that does ring a bell. Ah, my apologies. During this exceptional time, the Corps of 30 are under orders to be extra cautious when dealing with unknown people, whoever they might be.
I understand.
Good use of Nicole.
Well, sir, is there anything else you need to know? If not, I'd better try and catch up with them.
Hey, wait! They left a good while ago now. You'll never catch up with them on your own. Why don't I give you a ride? I'm here to collect the last few people anyway. We have plenty of carts, so one more won't be a problem.
That would be amazing. Traveling with a group will be much safer. I'll have to pay you for your trouble.
No, dude.
Hey, let's not worry about the money for now. Wait here a moment. Once I'm done packing up, I'll take you to join the rest of the group.
All right, thanks. Let me know if you need a hand carrying anything.
No need for that. I'm strong enough for both of us.
Okay. Well, I wish there was some way I could repay you.
Huh?
Guess it's my lucky day, running into someone who knows what they're doing here. You might have just saved my life, you know?
You're not wrong there. I mean, what kind of cargo is so important that it's worth risking your life to get back? I hope for your sake that it's priceless.
Actually, I suppose I can tell you, since you've been such a big help. But be sure to keep it to yourself, or we could both be in big trouble.
Oh, really? Sounds mysterious.
We're in
These
the
people.
antiques business. You understand? Some of our goods aren't acquired through the most legitimate means. We have to be very discreet when we're selling them. That's why I had to go looking for the missing cargo alone.
Ah, man, I wish our bike was actually like, up
No
to snuff.
wonder. Well, ma'am, in that
So you have
case,
the echo.
it turns out that maybe
Or
there
hollow
is
noise.
something you could do for me.
I'm all ears. But to be clear, our commission isn't cheap. Think carefully before you ask. We don't want to ruin our relationship before we even hit the road.
I'm sure that won't be a problem. My issue is, I have something that's a little difficult to sell on as well. Take a look at this.
Sell on, huh? Firstly reveals an old coin in his hand. Thanks for dealing with the not Krai. Nefer. See, player antiques are trying to make it as a very rare high value item. Ancient coin used to pay off the mercenaries made of pure gold. At first glance, it's hard to discern the country of origin. It's sold to an astute collector, and we definitely fetch a high price.
Pure gold. That's quite something. How'd you come across it? Dig it out of some ancient tomb?
If you look hard enough, there are many treasures to be found in the mausoleum of King Deshret.
Or
It
Gurabad.
has no distinct Snezhnayan markings. That'll be why he's going with that story. And he clearly doesn't want to arouse suspicion, so he's on the lookout for an opportunity to make a quiet trade.
That's not Sumerian.
Surely you have an existing business partner. Won't they take it off your hands? I hope I won't be attracting the wrath of my competitors by helping you sell this.
The shop I used to work with is having cash flow issues at the moment
Yeah, the
after
fucking-
losing some money.
Yeah,
I'm
see
under
the
enough
Sumerian
pressure as it
blown
is
up.
without having to deal with them. On the off chance anything went wrong, I'd never get my money back.
I understand. Gold is the last thing that traders with cash flow problems want to see. Well,
we talk about more.
in
Is
that
it more
case,
made of gold? I guess technically.
I
not really.
think we can work something out.
As it happens, I'm just about done packing. Shall we make a move?
Sure. Let's walk and talk.
Hey, but Nefer good at her job, bro.
This evacuation was a huge operation. They needed a few people to stay behind and tie up loose ends. And I ended up being one of them. You're lucky you ran into us in time.
I certainly am. I don't know how this happened. One thing led to another, and look how it ended up. I just hope our client doesn't get spooked and cancel their order.
Fingers crossed. But either way, life goes on, and we all have to make a living somehow.
Somehow. Golden opportunity during the fucking evacuation of your city. She has 9 solid gold coins, huh?
Hands where I can see them.
General Mahamatra! No, wait! What are you doing?
Hey, sorry, dog.
This is the coin? Good. Sadly, you won't have the chance to spend it.
Nicely done. Looks like Sumeru's Matra are a well-oiled machine nowadays.
All you told you was wait
Unmarked
for
gold
you.
coins are quite difficult to trace. Thanks to you, we have secured the evidence.
And what was this antique?
Here's what's gonna happen.
Okay, can he do his technique to force him to speak? Before long, he returns to the intel. He goes, yeah, he had a technique for that. Doesn't the Pure of
Southeast
Heart?
from here, leeward side of the hill. That's where he's meeting his contact.
Great work. Candace tells me your interrogation skills are highly effective.
Well, you can pull information out the Pure
Hers
of
are
Heart.
quickly catching up. She's improved a lot in recent years. Looks like it's over to you for the next step.
Because I'm quickest on my feet?
You can fly,
Because you
dickhead.
know how to trail a target. Plus, it'll be easier to monitor their activity from the air.
Fine. I'll be quick.
Working with the Matra, huh?
One more thing. The Traveler just brought a message from the Dendro Archon. Once you're done with this, we're to meet up at the mausoleum of King Deshret.
That's true. If we're supposed to be using unconventional methods to access Irminsul, didn't he have a Gnosis and a God technique?
Got it. Will do.
He doesn't have one anymore, obviously.
On your own?
Gee, I don't know. Maybe you should come with me.
It's fucking Wanderer of all people.
Then Paimon's coming with you.
Paimon's going with him?
Oh, really? You do know this is a stealth operation, right? Meaning, you have to be quiet?
Paimon, are you sure about this?
This is actually unique. Paimon going on her own?
Paimon at least wants to give it a shot. Like everyone says, if you never try, you'll never know. Besides,
Look at this quest and setting up a bunch of
to
stuff.
count for something. This should be a piece of cake.
This is one of those quests, kind of like I think in like 3.3, where like people just ignored it and didn't really care. But the events within it, and even the mechanical stuff they're showing, the little extra things are like pretty game changing.
Fine. Join me if you want. But be warned. If anything goes wrong, I'll have to gag you and shove you into a bush.
Paimon will be super careful.
We're getting long segments of unentered
what are we
unique
waiting
character
for?
interaction dialogue,
Let's go.
optional segments of character backstory and dialogue, Paimon being split off, unique character interactions for dynamic stuff like Sumeru, black screen removal. Like, this is something else.
Too slow.
Oh, he has the fucking bell. Or his, like, actual weapon. Probably gonna fuck this up completely. I have Wanderer, bro. What if the trial one was better than mine? Well, it doesn't matter. Wanderer's a terrible character.
Wait up! Hey, slow down, will ya?
Fly faster.
We're here. Now we wait.
Okay, yeah, cool. Cool.
Stealth operator Paimon.
What's on your mind, Paimon?
Huh? Oh,
It's like the spy
I
thriller
thought all you
novels.
cared about besides being a guide was food and sleep. Why the sudden urge to go on a dangerous mission?
And out of everyone, Wanderer. That's crazy. The first time Paimon's ever, like, gone on a separate mission, like, willingly, like, on her own without us, not just, like, split off from the group and need to do a task, is with fucking Wanderer?
What's that supposed to mean? Paimon's been on plenty of dangerous missions before.
Not on your own.
But never on your own. You hardly ever leave the Traveler's side. Just saying, I'm kind of at loose ends right now. So if you did want to share, I suppose I'd have to listen. If not, suit yourself. Makes no difference to me.
Paimon's the spy.
Hat guy? Do you think Paimon is useless?
What? Where's that coming from?
When we were in Krai, Paimon suddenly realized something. Even though Paimon's with the Traveler every single day, whenever we face real danger, she can't do anything to help.
We're actually having the Paimon's useless and Paimon has no power. All I gotta say, Paimon's been with us for 5 years and she hasn't grown an inch in power. Like nothing. Like hasn't learned any new techniques. Like she's gotten smarter and we know she's researching at the academia and she does the guide stuff. But she doesn't demonstrate any actual unique abilities.
Paimon doesn't get like this very often. She just got really scared when the Traveler got kidnapped that time. What if he never came back? What would Paimon do then? And the more Paimon thought about it, the more useless she felt. But Paimon doesn't want to be a burden. Paimon wants to be a friend who's actually useful. Does that make any sense? You know, that feeling of just being completely useless and...
It's true. When Detoria captured us and pulled us into the dimension, she couldn't do anything.
Sounds so ridiculous right now.
That guy's only saved us. Literally.
You asked the right person. Boy, do I know that feeling.
Oh, Hat guy.
When you're abandoned by your
I'm
mother.
not gonna try and encourage you. What I will say is this. When you start doubting yourself, you have 2 choices. Give up or change.
Funny how I mentioned earlier how this quest feels like one of those quests that on the surface is obviously a big lore one, but also feels incredibly pivotal to like the overarching story and character dynamics, and we're getting this. The fucking talk of Paimon needing to either give up or change or something useful.
You
yeah,
have to
I
make
hit
the
that
decision
nail
to
on the
move
head.
forward.
I'm glad I'm able to
Otherwise,
recognize.
No amount of consultation from other people is gonna help you. So ask yourself, what do you want? To get stronger? To learn more? Whatever it is, go do it. You won't have any regrets if you can at least say that you tried.
Oh, all right.
Something's not right. Shouldn't they be here by now?
Yeah, what's happening here, man? What's our contact? here?
Paimon, is it just me? Or is it a little too quiet around here?
Should Paimon take a look?
No.
We'll give it another hour. If nothing happens, we head back.
Okay.
Another hour? Have you been here for an hour? This conversation doesn't look like it's been there for an hour.
How strange. We've been here for ages. Where the heck are they? Have we been stood up?
Unless they're watching us.
Did you think of something?
They were waiting for our ambush or we catching that guy out.
Something feels off about this whole situation, but I can't quite explain why. We know for sure that the guy Cyno caught had something set up, yet somehow his contact is a no-show. So, either the handler got caught, or, more likely, they decided to cut our guy loose.
We got his coin, didn't they?
How would they know to do that? Wouldn't they at least send someone here to check things out?
Unless they already had a spy, and when we caught him, that was a giveaway.
That's the problem. They couldn't possibly know what's happening here. Unless...
They were already watching us long before.
This feels all too familiar. Come on, let's head back.
Is that a Fatui technique? Use a guy who's susceptible to bait to get him captured, then move on.
Even though this isn't a formal meeting, I'd still like to start by saying how grateful I am to each and every one of you. Thank you all for coming here and standing by our side.
And defending Sumeru.
Chesipank and Bennu are currently assisting the scholars with the maintenance of Aaru. Please forgive their absence. As for Hermanubis, may he rest in peace. We remember him with great fondness.
Old as hell,
There
though.
have been times when I imagined what it might be like to meet you all. Now that it's really happening, I feel quite emotional.
It's weird for you to say that because didn't you, wait, hang on now. Weren't you there with Mabalika and fucking Deshret back in the day? I mean, obviously you're Ruka Nevada. You're not Ruka Nevada, but still, you should know them.
Time has taken many things away.
Or they already sealed.
But that which remains is all the more resilient.
I must say, there is one thing that rather surprises me.
You're small.
You appear to be in good spirits, Lesser Lord Kusanali. But even so, I can sense that the life force given to you by the Dendro Dragon has far from fully resolved the problem of your vitality.
Well, Irminsul's still damaged.
Oh no! So even Apep's power didn't work?
Yeah, she signed the
Don't worry,
Irminsul.
Paimon. It worked very well indeed.
It's supplementary to
The
Apep's
issue is how
Irminsul's
closely I'm
power.
tied to Irminsul. Until the problem with it is resolved, there is no way I can fully recover. Sumeru has undergone tremendous changes during your absence. When gods pass away, inevitably, people's faith in them grows weaker. You must have sensed it already. Your power is not what it once was.
Regrettably, this is true.
Another god can feel
I
it.
too have grown weaker due to the effects of Irminsul. Right now, we're all in quite a sorry state.
Then what do you suggest?
You know what makes me think? Like Rex Lapis being dead? Does that mean that Zhongli is losing power?
We take all the help we can get. Sumeru is our shared home. You and I, gods and humans alike. We must unite all our strength in this moment.
Look at that,
Though
must unite the world.
Al-Ahmar is no longer with us.
Exact opposite of
the alliance between the three
Leo.
gods remains in force. Regardless, as subjects of our king, we have a responsibility to support Sumeru through this catastrophe.
Look at that.
Not to mention that it was the people of Sumeru who released us from this prison of Aaru. Times have changed, and the people of today possess greater wisdom than those of the past.
They're there to help you.
You really know how to give a rousing speech, Koti.
Now then, let us learn more about your plan.
The brightest minds of the Sumeru Academia are busy opening and renovating Aaru. They claim it has something to do with Irminsul?
Technique.
Correct.
Technique to breach
Irminsul
it.
has existed in Teyvat since the very beginning. But during the Age of the Dragons, it did not possess the significance it holds today. After the heavenly principles arrived, the power of the Light Realm was divided into elemental energy, and Irminsul was refashioned as a device that records and preserves all information.
Heavenly Principle. So that means the Heavenly Principle split the two realms into 7 energies? Okay.
Since then,
That's just weird
everything
to do
in this
that.
world has been inextricably linked to it.
He's Irminsul's
As
the binding
Dendro
factor.
Archon, I have a duty to protect Irminsul. To Sumeru, it is both a national treasure and undeniably a major threat.
But to the greater world of
Teyvat
that.
has seen many upheavals in the last few years. The most recent of these was a major crisis in Krai, which forced Sumeru to be even more vigilant than usual. I made sure to monitor all the pathways through which an outsider could potentially transmit themselves into Irminsul. But despite my efforts, a major problem still arose within.
Time itself?
I still believe that someone has actively invaded Irminsul. But rather than taking any of the pathways I referred to, the intruder chose instead to utilize the most direct route. And the only one that cannot be protected against.
Information? They process themselves into Irminsul?
By entering Irminsul through death.
I see what you mean. You cannot simply stop all deceased souls from returning to the ley lines because of a potential invasion that could occur at any time.
That's right. As important as it is to guard against external threats, I couldn't allow myself to stop the souls of the departed from finding peace.
Please, understand how difficult this predicament was for the Dendro Archon.
Someone
Defense has never been an easy task.
through death they allow
After
themselves
Irminsul was
to enter.
invaded, my authority was quickly restricted. Soon after that, the tree began denying access to any connections.
It's crazy how quickly
I'm sure you
fucking
feel
kick you off.
responsible, but you are not to blame. No one can predict every possible disaster. There will always be trials and tribulations for the world to endure.
But the people of Sumeru should not have to endure this. We must find a way to break through the lockdown and connect to Irminsul.
And this is why you need Aaru.
Yes. The only thing in Sumeru capable of rivaling Irminsul in terms of overall function and performance is Al-Akhmar's legacy, Aaru.
Crazy. A god from this world creates something that
was make some minor adjustments to Irminsul. Using Aaru is a last resort, and a move that comes with enormous risks.
Yeah, the risk being that you fucking essentially blow open a doorway into Irminsul. There says you could be drilling their way in. Essentially, they're using the same method their enemy used. Well, not really, because through death is the way you can get in, obviously. But I'm guessing they're gonna either A, blast their way into Irminsul using Aaru as a forceful entry. B, imitate Irminsul on a clone station that like allows the ley lines, that imitates the ley lines so well that they process themselves. Essentially, it acts as a clone vector that allows them to process themselves into Irminsul. Or B, destroy Irminsul, and we're gonna burn Irminsul, and while it's burning, use Aaru as a temporary holding point to to process all the information of the world while Irminsul is burning, and that allows us to cleanse it from whatever's inside. And the information essentially is copied over by Aaru, and we make a copy of the world's like data. Whatever. This is all speculation on how the fuck that's gonna work.
The scholar's initial plan was to borrow Aaru's power to reboot the Akasha, then use the Akasha to connect to Irminsul and investigate.
Also, on top of what I just said, straight up, if Aaru can be reprocessed into something that is the equivalent of Irminsul, which is a primordial tree that existed since the beginning of this planet's time, without a shadow of a doubt, King Deshret has to be on the same level as the Heavenly Principles in terms of power. Dude is able to do what they did, which is rework Irminsul after shattering the fucking 7 realms and the 7 fucking elemental powers. And he was able, or was on the verge of building that himself. Without, or just within the established world. Yeah. I mean, that's literally Heavenly Principles level power.
Unfortunately, Irminsul has suffered far greater damage than they first thought, rendering that plan futile.
So they're not going to be able to access it.
To rise to the challenge, we had to resort to more extreme and far costlier means. This has led to a number of new contingency plans. To reclaim Irminsul, her brightest scholars have made further modifications to Aaru with multiple goals in mind. I thank you all for giving them your blessing in this endeavor.
Human wisdom has clearly improved over the millennia.
What's our plan?
You have not only our support, but that of the Jinn, the Aranara, and the Pari.
Okay, well, 2 of those are like fucking basically from her.
Together, we will do everything in our power to save Irminsul.
All right, like you got the Jinn, so you have Mabalika's fucking fucking ancient people, her that created the angel races people, helping her. You have the 3 Magi, so King Deshret's empire, and then the Pari and the Aranara, which are her subjects, and then humanity, which is benevolent to none of them.
By the way, when you spoke earlier of an intruder, it almost sounded as if you knew who you were dealing with and what they were capable of.
The Torah.
Well, since you ask.
Uh-oh. That can't be good. Truth among the pages of Purana. There it is. The final Sumerian chapter. We've been waiting 3 years for.
Master Tainari! What is that?
Is this Irminsul?
How did this happen? What's going on inside?
Luckily, we managed to evacuate everyone.
What in the world was that? That was terrifying!
So this is a cast you've been fighting against all this time. Irminsul being brought into the real world.
Oh my. I understand now, Dendro Archon. You make yourself quite clear indeed.
Not once over the millennia has Irminsul been so terribly afflicted as this.
Please continue, Dendro Archon.
Yeah, the world
Irminsul's root
is...
system is what comprises the ley lines. In the past, it has always been hidden away, going unseen by the general populace. But now, an evil intruder is making it reveal itself. It has become a tree of unbridled greed. A clear sign that a deranged experiment has advanced to a new stage.
It's a ranged experiment, huh?
Blasphemy. From where I stand, an experiment in the name of blasphemy sounds rather improper. But if we are to honor Dottores' will, this is what we must do.
The birth of this tree proves to me beyond doubt that this incident is connected to him. But to explain the situation in full, there is someone I need to tell you about.
Most concise and precise language possible, Nahida explains what she knows about the second of the Fatui Harbingers, the Doctor. I mean, this is basically completely fucked, man. This is like a full hands on deck, all 7 Archons of the world show up, all our characters, Avengers, Doomsday level threats. His true name is Zandik, and his crimes are beyond all reckoning.
Zandik. So it was him. I saw him in the desert once. A man of supreme arrogance.
You offered him your power, and he
so
rejected
this
it.
is where it has taken him.
But didn't Dottore die and not cry? How is he still able to do all this?
He possessed the fucking foundational powers of the world.
Followers amongst the Fatui. Even so, I'm still unclear as to how he has been able to wield such a profound influence over Irminsul.
I can confirm that Fatui forces have arrived in Sumeru City.
Occupation.
Furthermore, Irminsul seems to be undergoing some kind of mutation.
Evil branches.
Evil branches are beginning to grow. Things that do not belong to this world are slowly but surely materializing.
Yeah, this is like... People say, like, where's the Heavenly Principles? This is like a moment where the Heavenly Principles should be showing up, without a shadow of a doubt.
I couldn't think of any other word to describe it. They don't seem to be fully formed physical entities yet, after all. But they are
also,
gradually
if Irminsul is
real.
Physically in the world now.
Tree climbing up into the heavens.
Speaking of Dottore, I have some information on that front as well.
How's that? One of recounts how we had Paimon who went to the meeting, so I want to find no one went in. At this point, shouldn't all of the Abyss on the entirety of the planet be rushing in its strongest, most powerful form possible to get to that tree?
I didn't think it was wise to state this out in the open. But my theory is, the mole wasn't cut off after he was caught. They wrote him off from the beginning.
You mean the Fatui never intended to follow through with him? Then why plant a mole at all?
It's hardly a conventional strategy, and the rationale behind it is pretty twisted. But as it happens, I know someone who works exactly this way. And when it comes down to it, his goals are very simple. He just wants to confuse people, so they can't figure out what he's up to. He's been a collaborator of Dottore's from the outset. That fact alone confirms that Dottore is involved with this somehow.
Somehow. Some people grasp on not hearing his name. Gasp! It's fine. Clearly there's more going on than anyone realized. Nahida proceeds to summon all relevant parties for a lengthy, in-depth meeting. Nahida gives detailed explanation of the enemy and the potential scale of the crisis. Upon further intel provided to Nicole and Nefer, a plan is formulated and everyone prefers to go to work. Oh, okay, we're just never gonna hear what the plan is. Well, it's time to get to work.
There is still much to be done. Everyone, please remember our core strategy.
As per the discussions, the following groups must act immediately.
Yeah, exactly. How are we launching an assault plan?
Mr. Alhaitham and Mr. Kaveh, the next phase of the Aaru renovation project must begin right away. Godspeed to you both.
She said Godspeed.
We'll give it everything we've got.
The plan looks
It's a very
feasible,
modern word to use.
but the implementation will require certain resources.
Like what?
General Mahamatra Cyno and his team will help to procure the materials required for modifying the terminal.
No problem. I've already spoken with Sethos and Hat Guy, and they've agreed to assist me.
This kind of thing is best left to the fleet-footed, right? Hat Guy?
Shut up, light skin.
If it's efficiency you're after, we're the right people for the job.
Following up on the elemental energy amplifier we discussed. Ms. Dory, I assume you're the one most familiar with the status of this project. Aside from the Dendro Archon,
Energy amplifier. You're the most familiar.
Yep, that's right. Leave it to Lord Sangam Bay.
I mean, she's worked with energy resources in the past.
Well, I'd like Madame
Oh, from
Farazan,
Alice.
Kale, and Nicole to support Dory on the technical side.
You can count on us.
Will do. Rest assured, I'll take good care of Kale.
Okay.
Dia, Candace, and Nefer, you'll be in charge of negotiating between the various parties. I trust you remember our goal.
Negotiating?
You bet. We can handle it.
These bad bitches can be
I believe
negotiating?
that covers everything. Tainari will provide ad hoc support as needed, if that's okay.
Ad hoc, huh? You're our liaison in between the
Poor
groups.
Tainari. Must be tough being Nephis' student. Getting bossed around all day, every day.
Hey, don't try and drive a wedge between us, you old rascal.
Especially during a fucking time
All
of
it says
crisis.
to me is that Master Nephis has faith in everyone's abilities. While I'm nominally here as backup, I doubt there will be many situations where my help is needed.
What are we doing?
Exactly.
Launching assault on this fucking Irminsul?
Finally, Traveler, you and I will head to the border between Sumeru and Natlan. Once that task is complete, I'll be asking some of you to accompany me to the Eternal Oasis.
Eternal
The
Oasis?
Eternal Oasis? I thought that was just a legend.
Ooh, that's the...
So it does exist after all.
So if we're heading to the Eternal Oasis, that's Deshret's Celestial Nail reconfigured into fucking the God's resting place.
Regarding your trip to Natlan,
Oh, boy.
under normal circumstances, a meeting between our two nations would be a far more formal affair. Unfortunately, Sumeru is all but completely cut
So
off
we're gonna
from the outside world at
So
present.
the first time ever in Genshin history, we're actually going to be asking a foreign nation for help, no matter.
So regretfully,
a nuclear
we
crisis.
won't be able to give the Pyro Archon Mawika the grand reception that she deserves. My apologies for the inconvenience.
Well, let's go get to the Mavu Weekend and
No
ask for
point
help.
putting too much pressure on yourselves. That goes for everyone.
No, you need to put pressure on yourselves. This is the end of the world. we're dealing
Especially
with.
you, Dendro Archon. I'm sure you're still feeling quite weak.
Don't worry about me. The Dendro Dragon's life force will sustain me.
Plus, we'll be there every step of the way. Nahida will be just fine.
Yes, I believe in myself. And I believe in every one of you. Well, time to get going.
It's time to launch the super operation and single-handedly save all of Teyvat. Good God, bro. So Irminsul has rose. Oh, looks like the infection's even worse. And now there's a giant fucking Horizon Video Harbor wasn't bad. It's covered the Palace of Alcazar's, the cave system, and the harbor. So it's covered all the damn forest. Jesus, bro. Looks like Sumeru might be fuckhead.